eyes wide. Thunder in the hallways, drugs online.
I'm reluctantly about to do the Awaroa mission for the hunter called the Wild. Once again, another update caused my game to reset. Luckily, I kept all my trophies, but it reset how much money I had, how many tints I had, how many lodges I had. I was almost complete on unlocking all the frickin' maps again. Thanks to Stormy, my husband, I'm able to play on all the maps that are available. But sadly, every time a new map or an update comes out, my shit seems to reset. So, here is Awaroa, however you say it. I don't know, we call it TA for the 4th time. So hopefully it won't take long, but more than likely it'll take a couple hours. I really hope not. Sometimes I just talk way too freaking much. So that being said, let's get into it so I can have this map somewhat unlocked so I can play it. Because Scotland, I don't like it. I don't like Scotland. It was fun at first, new animals, cool. And now, I can't stand it. And as we go through the missions, I'll talk about missions, but I'll also give you like hints and stuff on what to do if your game does do what mine does, or if you're a newbie. It takes so long to load in. It's ridiculous. I'm not playing on a computer, I'm playing on the PS4. Oh, here we go.
Kia ora. Nau mai haere mai ki Aotearoa. Welcome to New Zealand and to Te Awaroa National Park. This little slice of paradise is teeming with creatures big and small, and more adventures than you'll find on any movie screen or storybook. Now I've lived out here in the Wop Wops all my life and never wanted for anything else. In fact, it's practically in my blood. This place and my family go way back. Things have been a little tricky lately, though. It's fast becoming somewhere I don't recognize anymore, and I don't like it. That's why I dragged you out here for. With your help, we're going to wean ourselves off outside money and make Te Awaroa a model for sustainability the entire South Island can get behind.
She said how to pronounce her name twice, and I still didn't get it.
Right, let's get moving. Glad to see you've arrived in one piece. Josh is my nephew. He just got his license, and I swear that kid spends more time with his hands on the radio dials than on the steering wheel. I hope he didn't talk your ear off. I've had to rely on him a lot lately since my legs started acting up again. I was planning to head out and meet you today, but here I am at home, propped up on 5 kinds of pillows. Doctor's orders. Anyway, that's enough chit-chat from me. Head over to the outpost marked on your hunter, mate, and let's get you started. I hope you had a chance to spend some quality time on your own before I rang you up. Your mate, Alejandra, said the two of you were here on holiday? She had nothing but praise for you, by the way. Said you almost single-handedly turned things around for her in Cuatro Colinas. Well, naturally I have pretty high expectations, but let's take our time getting to know each other first. I'll admit that it wasn't just her recounting your heroic antics that made me pick up the phone. She said you were, and I quote, stoic, practical, and probably born out in the bush somewhere. Just what I was looking for, in other words.
So because I have played this multiple times and I used to do my grinds on this map, I know where all the outposts are for the most part, so I'm literally running to a house right now, which is normally the house I have you start at, but for some reason they want me to run over there. Which I will be using a four-wheeler. If you have it, use it. But Scotland, for some reason, that terrain is so awful that you can't ride a four-wheeler. It's stupid. Just like that, I got a house. I think I'll end up coming back here for another mission. So we'll just do the house for now. And then we'll get a four-wheeler and go to the other one. And we're back. Look at my arm. I don't know what's going on with it. Okay, so continuing the first
the environment doesn't have to be bad for your back. It's pretty cozy inside. Go on, take a look. That was back when people used to just call you a hippie. Now everything's sustainable. Clean, green, eco-friendly. Hippies? Ha! Try trailblazers. I see we got company. That'll be Josh's doing, the brat. I told him to leave things be, but I guess he couldn't resist. Anyway, maybe it's just as well you get used to it. I'll fill you in later. Right, mate? See that camera on the table? Strap it to your chest and let me explain what exactly you're here for. There's a lookout tower not far away, so you can head up there and get a sense of the place while I flap my gums. Nice and tight now. Wouldn't want it coming off right when you've got a shot lined up.
Yeah, I told you. So that just saves some time.
So, the plan. I want to turn this place into a year-round retreat for hunters like you and Alejandra. So I don't spend most of the year worrying about whether our native plants are going to get overrun by deer again. There's a lot of filmmaking talent out here, and it hasn't been put to good use lately, if you ask me. So we're going to make a commercial, show the world there's more to New Zealand than haka and halflings. And who better to demonstrate the thrill of the chase than an experienced hunter like yourself? See, Awaroa's prime was back in the 80s. Most of the other hunters out here are equally long of tooth. We need someone young, new, dynamic. You. The camera will do most of the work, so you just have to make sure it's on when you head out to hunt. We have a couple of strategic locations on our list to get through. But let's get you that view first.
Okay. So, as I was saying before I got disconnected, the first glitch in my game, which reset everything, was after the Great One Wolf happened. And then the second one was shortly after Scotland dropped. With the second time, I was...
There's the lookout tower, just up ahead.
I know, I see it. I was almost level 50, and the max level is 60. And it happened again. So now Stormy wants to get me a new system, which will cause me to have to do this all over again. Which is, I think, why I'm not really playing it, because he wants to get it for me soon. So, yeah, it's kind of why I'm just like, whatever with it. I'll play it maybe, but I'm really only playing it if I'm on his map, because there's no sense in me wasting my time and energy to level back up if I'm gonna have to restart all over again. Because this is the only game that I have ever heard of where you can't transfer your saved data to a new system. Like PlayStation's PlayStation, I should be able to have Call of the Wild PlayStation stuff on my PlayStation 4 on the new system. But no. It's ridiculous.
Just take that in.
I really don't feel like playing.
Spectacular, isn't it?
But there's only a couple
This
more
eastern
missions
area is
that I
all
have
rolling
to
hills
post,
and conifers.
and this is one of them.
There's a line of mountains in the centre of the reserve, and native beech forest, and a lot of rain on the other side.
And two of them I won't
Right,
complete
so remember
because
Josh's little
I'm
prank?
awful with bows.
This place doesn't receive a lot of government funding, unfortunately, and a couple of years ago we were running out of money for field research, and the outposts were in need of sprucing up. So I guess you could say we made a deal with the devil, the Hollywood devil to be exact. Long story short, they've just wrapped up filming for the final movie they were contracted to do. Some fantasy thing, shiny blade or shimmering dagger or something. Now let me check. Resplendent sword. I'll send you the blurb they gave me. My nephew tells me it's a big deal, but I'd certainly never heard of it before this. But yeah, as nice as it is that Te Awaroa's beauty is up on the silver screen for all to see, it's come with its share of problems, to say the least. The bigwigs left in a hurry, and we got left with a bunch of basically intact movie sets scattered here and there all over the reserve. Well, I'm telling you all of this because Josh just rang me up and said that he spotted another set on his way back. Not far from where I wanted you to try filming your first hunt. Can I trouble you to go clear it out? We can't run the risk of any of the props from the film featuring in our footage. Cheers.
God, they take forever to talk. That's what takes missions so long, is because they talk and you can't do anything. When you buy this game, Leighton Lakes and Hirschfelden are the two that come with it. You don't have to buy them. But if you do those missions, Leighton, you need to have bow experience and money. And Hirschfelden, you need to have bow experience. I suck with a bow, so those will never get done by me. Like, ever. But you can go to our YouTube channel.
Tricky little fella, eh? If at first you don't succeed and all that, you'll get the next one.
That was a rare. Yeah. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, so leveling up. I prefer to do missions because you level up fast. Straight hunting will not level you up fast. It just won't. I don't care what any YouTuber says. It won't. You need to do missions to level up. At least by, you know, say Awaroa, and, you know, do that mission, or Scotland, you can do those missions. Although Scotland, I didn't level up very fast. TA, I only do. Plus TA, you can get a rare. It's a mocha moose, and it's the only moose that you can get on TA, but it is only a mission animal. So I recommend doing missions to level up. This game has just done me dirty too many times to where I don't even want to play it anymore. But like I said, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more videos to get up. I'll put our YouTube in the comments in a second. But yeah, so once I do those, I'm gonna be done with Call of the Wild for a while. But there are some maps that I would not recommend doing until you're at least level 20, when you can have the steady aim and all that. And I'll go into that.
What a mess. If I'd known this was gonna happen, I never would have agreed to it. This isn't even the worst of it. Right, let's take it one by one. Just bundle them into crates and I'll get someone to swing by later and transport them out of the reserve. Are those real oranges? Good enough to eat, eh? quite the medieval fair. Looks more than a bit incongruous out here if you ask me. I hope they didn't have an actual fire in that thing. Imagine if some silly townie kid had wandered over here and decided it would be a good idea. That's the last of them. What's that note? Props list. Foam statue of haughty elf standing prow, 9 foam warriors, 8 golden goblets, 3 green screens. This reads like a Christmas carol. See any of those? Bit dodgy. Townies must have been up here. Well, even though this isn't our mess to clean up, I should probably ask around and see if anyone knows what's happened to the missing props. The last thing we need is to get blamed for this. Maybe they did a very selective sweep. I'll see if anyone has a bigwig's numbers. Thanks for your help, Iho. Let's move on. Before you head off and film your hunts, first we've got to set the scene, so to speak. The marketing team's looking for some photos for the reserve website, something to give people a taste of what this place has to offer. Now that we've dealt with that bloody mess, you think you could head over to Lake Wakaiti and snap a few shots for us? We got a little overly reliant on these tentpole releases. Well, I say more tents and fewer releases. Does that work? Nah, you're right. There's a willow tree there growing right out of the water that all the influencers or whatever they call themselves go bonkers for. It does make for a good photo op, I'll give it that.
There's also a house over here somewhere. So I'd recommend doing easier maps as a newbie because you can't buy everything you need as a beginner. So what maps do I recommend avoiding? Layton, Hirschfelden, Verhonga Savannah, Medved, scratch all that. The only maps you should do as a beginner are Awaroa, Silver Ridge Peak, Rancho, that's an easy one. Emerald Coast, that's an easy one. New England, that's another. Solswiesen, that literally only has 2 things to do. Tornashith, that's another one. And Ravantuli. All the other ones I wouldn't recommend doing because you need a high level caliber gun because there are dangerous animals like wolves or a water buffalo or bison. Still gonna be red deer time by the time I get over there, which is fine. I don't care. There's red deer. Leave bitch. Tiny little one.
This is one of the hunting spots my mentor used to take me out to. Bound to be something worth stalking in the area.
There will be once I get to the lake or river. Going to be easy. Yeah. Let's see what we can do. Ooh, she's pretty. I don't think I can get her. Leave a bitch. Oh, and when you're doing TA, when you get to that the moose mission, when you can either take a picture or take it down, you don't have to take it down, but it also won't just be waiting there for the next time you hunt. It's only a mission animal, so if you don't get it, you don't get it. I have 2 of them already. I do not want another one. Oh, I'm gonna leave it. Just take a picture of it. Where's this stupid house? I know it's over here somewhere. Okay, looks like I gotta go. I'll figure it out in a minute. I do have a 10 on me to get a 4-wheeler, so that's fine. Well then, here's our YouTube. There you go, that is our YouTube. Some of these missions are stupid as heck. Like, they're like, I'll
If you're wondering why there's no one around,
wants me to take a picture
because the reserve is officially closed to visitors for the foreseeable future. And definitely conducting emergency field research, we said. If that's what it takes to get the day trippers to clear out for a hot minute, so be it. I swear I haven't seen this place so deserted in about 10 years. Ah, it's lovely, actually. Even if I can only experience it through you. We used to camp out here when I was little. Tramp over from the other side. Me and a gaggle of other kids carrying backpacks bigger than our whole bodies. Don't fall in now. Wouldn't be the first time that's happened here. Not much of that lifestyle left these days. I miss it sometimes.
Well, at least that sounds kind of coming back. Not a lot, but...
Running low. The outposts have ammo of all kinds and more besides.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, I have to get up close and take a picture, but it won't let me take the picture.
That'll do. It's looking well. We had some hoon try to saw off one of the branches a few weeks ago. Can you believe? Well, luckily someone managed to talk him out of it. Sometimes wedding parties will have the brides come up and sit on it. Wade right into the water and soak those dear dresses. That tree is 80 years old. Started off as a stray branch nailed to a fence. It's a tribute to tenacity, if you ask me. Right, now for our next destination. Head down to the shoreline. There's a set of huge boulders there that have to be seen to be believed. I know what you're thinking.
Oh, yeah.
She's showing me some rocks. But trust me on this one. I don't really get why people fall over themselves trying to get slightly different variations of the same photo. Why can't they just stand back and enjoy it? Our beaches are buzzing with natural activity. At least they used to be. You get more and more rubbish washed up all over the place lately. You know, bits of plastic pellets, runoff from factories further north. I swear I've seen tin cans with Australian brand names. We do our best, but we can't always prevent the poor critters ending up with junk in their bellies. Anyway, that's the situation. I'll get back to you when you arrive. Just gonna head off for a minute and make some tea.
See if I can get this down. I don't have a 300, but the 308 is what I'm supposed to use. This is... You'll see in a minute why I get so frustrated. I can't hold my breath very long. And the bitch turned. Fuck. And boom. Cuckoo. And as far as being able to shoot without the wobble, you need to be at least level 20. That's why I said wait off on those harder maps, because yeah. Can't remember if there's a house over here. I think so. scramble to the next one so I can get that one. It's just gonna be annoying. But definitely get, as you're doing the missions, do the outposts. Get like anything you can. Otherwise, it's gonna take forever to level up. And no, you can't grind. You can grind. There's a streamer out there that likes to say you need at least $500,000 to grind and blah blah blah. No. You don't. You need money, but you don't need $500,000 in the game to grind. You can grind off of, what was I had 100,000 last time and I was grinding and doing just fine. I was set up in 15 zones for red deer here on TA and grinding absolutely fine. So no, you don't need freaking 500,000. You don't need to have tents set up in all their drink zones. And Stormy is proof to that because he spawned 2 Great One red deers being set up in like 8 spots. He was not set up in all his zones. And then you got me was grinding like a mother trucker on those black bears and Silver Ridge Peaks and couldn't get nothing. I felt like the game knew I was close and it's like, nope, we're gonna reset. Because it said corrupted game data. And I said restore data and uh-oh, there goes everything. Museum level 17 and I only have $85,000. I'm not going to be able to do much with that. Well, the money I can. The level, no. Because I'm still, I don't have control yet. Like I should. I should have taken a four-wheeler over here. All these little ass deer and shit. What the fuck? Turkey. Turkey, 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 turkey. Follow. I don't know, y'all. I really want to get through this for you, but I don't know. Because when I do Emerald Coast, that's the Australia one with kangaroos and crocodiles. That'll be my 3rd time doing that one too. And I don't know, but Parque Fernando and Cuatro Colinas, those, they'll be my 2nd time. So not bad. See this question mark? I'm gonna go to it. I'm gonna examine it and watch when I'm come out. It'll give me XP for it.
That's better. Nothing like a good old Kiwi herbal blend to sort the head out.
The fuck? Stupid.
I wonder if these are the most studied rocks in the whole world. Gotta be up there with Uluru and Balanced Rock.
Where are you at? See, remember she told me to hunt, but she's not counting any of my hunts. There'll be 2 times where she goes silent that I'm gonna have to like shoot, and I think it's like get a gold or better. Hey, Bob.
Oh, well, look at this. Couldn't help themselves, could they? One last hurrah before we shut the place down. This really can't wait, mate. There's a little blue penguin population nesting not far from here, and they'll gladly take this for food.
Where's the penguin? I want to see penguin.
Okay, that looks manageable. Let's clean this up and take the photo. Then we can talk hunting again. Well, as you can imagine, being featured in a host of box office hits has done wonders for our profile with tourists. Problem is, a lot of the people who come are just here to take a few photos, dump a heap of rubbish, and then leave unceremoniously. So we end up with messes like this one. I'd like to say that we've become the victim of our own success, but that's letting me off the hook.
That's a female. Wow, that might be him right there. Yeah.
Right. There should be a stand over on the other end of the beach with rubbish bags and a picker. We went to all the trouble of installing these, and they still couldn't be bothered. These kids would have nightmares if you showed them some of what I've seen out here. Birds with stomachs so full of plastic they can't eat. South Island University. I knew it. Way too many people around here who have never respected this place. Looks like they had quite the little feast.
I didn't miss anything.
You can leave them over by the stand. There, spick and span. You made quick work of it. That's a perfectly usable tent. No sense wasting it. Anyway, I've had enough of this. And we need to ensure that we're attracting the right kinds of tourists, not just day trippers from Christchurch out on their school holidays. It's okay for people to come here and leave no trace, but it'd be better if we could rely on them to help us with our conservation goals. So hunters seem like the natural target audience. Our deer and goat populations need constant culling. And you better believe I've more faith in people who love the wilderness to respect the place than kids up to no good. At the risk of sounding like an old fusspot. Speaking of, let's do what we came to do and grab that photo. Lovely use of lighting. I may have to hire you to help out on my next book project, if I ever finish the current one. There's a lot of theories about where these boulders came from. Volcanic activity, lightning, even aliens. I've heard them all over the years. The boffins will tell you they were formed over 60 million years ago on the sea floor, like pearls. But that's not the whole story. When people first arrived in New Zealand, they took their staple crop with them, kumara, otherwise known as sweet potato. Unfortunately for them, the weather in this part of the country isn't exactly conducive to growing much, and the tubers withered and died. So they sent word to the Polynesian homeland, and a canoe set sail with a hardier crop. But it was caught in an intense storm just off the east coast. Each wave that struck it was so large that it made a new hill. Those are the ones you'll see further inland, and all of the cargo went overboard. And that's what these boulders are. Petrified kumara, eel baskets, calabashes. The canoe itself formed the reef further up. Moral of the story? Things have long shelf lives. A lesson I wish someone had taught those kids. Right, feeling warmed up? Good. It's time for you to show me what you can do. Camera on? Then you should have everything you need. I got Josh to set it up. He told me to tell you that it's state-of-the-art, equipped with Wi-Fi, So any footage you grab is automatically uploaded to our server. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I guess I'll be able to see it on here. No pressure then. There's good hunting in the whole of this area, from up around where you cleared out the props earlier to closer to the beach. Take your pick. But just one thing, we want it to show up nice on camera, so no minnows. Try for something at least 30 kg. The larger the better. Should be no problem for a hotshot like you. No word back from our friends in Hollywood regarding the props, by the way. My guess is that some townie thought it'd be a hoot to grab them for their crib. But I'm not keen on the idea of someone wandering around when we're supposed to be closed to visitors. Anyway, nothing you need to worry about right now. Just focus on those killer shots.
Talking, or they just need to let us skip it. Trying to get him. Should be able to.
What a beaut! And that chase. Gonna make for some great footage. You're living up to your reputation, I'll give you that. A lot of people around here think that hunting's heyday peaked in the 70s and 80s. Back when you'd get scores of daredevils out in helicopters gunning down deer 3 at a time. That's not the done thing anymore, for a whole host of reasons. But these days we need hunters more than ever. And I'm glad I have you on board to help us show the world that. You've got a fan here, Hoa. Josh gave me a hand posting some footage from your hunt to the reserve chat group, and it caught the eye of our resident sharpshooter, Melanie Murphy. Melanie's the one who taught me to hunt. She's retired now, but back in the day she worked out on those helicopters with the best, or worst of them. Tough as nails and with a sharp tongue to boot. We had a bit of a falling out 25 years ago. One of the choppers came down with us in it. That's how I injured my leg. I won't go into it, but we should never have taken off that day, and Melanie knew it. Well, these days we're cordial to each other, but not much else. Anyway, my mum always told me to let bygones be bygones and all that. Melanie's a better hunter than I'll ever be, advanced age notwithstanding.
Sorry about that.
So I'll do my best to pass on whatever I've learned from her gratis. You're welcome. Right, back on track. Sorry to ask again, but I need you to do me a favour. No, it's not more cleaning up, don't worry. Get to the outpost I've marked on your hunter mate and I'll explain on the way. too. It was about sustainable living first and foremost. We weren't just there to not shower and sing Kumbaya all day. When I say the place is part of me, I mean it. Mum's family can trace their lineage here to the 14th century, and we've accumulated a lot of stories over the years. Some of those are about an animal that holds a special place in my heart. European settlers released moose here about 100 years ago, and there haven't been any confirmed sightings since the 1950s. But I swear to you, I saw one when I was little, staring straight at me out of a hazy morning mist. Ever since then, I've been determined to prove that they're still here. Even written a book about it. Or am writing a book about it, I should say. I can't give it the conclusion it deserves yet. Heading to the outpost. There shall be a battery pack on the table. I don't hold out much hope anymore. But I've got a few trail cameras scattered here and there. Usually just throw up deer herds and the occasional teenager behaving badly. But they're pretty low maintenance. One of them got knocked over and the battery's completely munted. So I'd like you to switch it out if that's not too much trouble. It's on the way to our next filming destination. I've been meaning to get out there for ages. But then my legs started acting up again. Nice to have the help.
Next up,
Up there. Cheers. That should keep it going for another few years. Can you check the other cameras while you're here?
It's actually supposed to be on that.
Might give you some stalking suggestions, if nothing else.
I have a feeling this game's about to glitch again. Because I'm only doing this for y'all. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for y'all. So, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do to our channel to support, because OMG.
When something shows up on these, 9 times out of 10 it's a stray deer.
Oh shit.
those little fellas in that props list, Christmas has come early this year.
I think there's only... Hold on, I'm looking at my list. I want to say there's 4 or 5, maybe even 6 maps that you don't have to hunt anything on.
There's our missing props. But who? I don't honestly mind someone getting some use out of them as long as we're not deemed responsible. But that's a big bloody truck. There's no driving of anything larger than an ATV permitted in the reserve. Don't see any tracks, do you? Must have been a few days ago at the earliest. License plate's pretty clear at least. I'll do some detective work and let you know. I don't suppose you packed any swing togs, eh? Well, not to worry. Getting to our next destination involves a bit of spelunking, but a flashlight and some waterproof boots should be all you need. Head to the cave I've marked on your hunter, mate. Unless you'd rather climb over those mountains. No? Didn't think so.
Like that. I just need to go down to clothing. I can't get Dex on that guy. It says I have it, but I don't. If I was a male character, I would have it, but I don't have it. In that. Bless you. Orange or green? You do your character, and then there we go. That looks better. Sorry, I'm actually in the middle of doing something. Okay, now back to what we have to do. We have to go to this cave, go inside the cave,
Eventually wind up at the cave mouth.
drink some. Okay. So I personally think you need about 8 spots to have all of your drinks down for 8 spots.
The water's low right now, but it can still catch you by surprise. Stick to the walls and get that flashlight on.
But,
Easy does it.
because there's a streamer, she'll tell you you need all their zones, and then miraculously her tune changes saying, no, you need this many zones, or this many tent set up, but this many zones. She's so wishy-washy, it's unbelievable. But, yeah, personally, I don't think you need to have a million tents set up and all their zones found, because Stormy, he doesn't. But he's gotten 2 great ones now. I've followed streamers, I've done my own thing, I've done what Stormy does, and I still haven't gotten my own great one. Stormy gave me his 2nd great one. And he didn't have to do that, he did it. Because he plays a lot more than I do. The only reason I have more hours blocked than him is because of the mission. I really hate you can't take a 4-wheeler in here. Y'all, this is my 4th time playing this, and I have never noticed that there's music going on. Isn't that wild? I've played those first times, and not once have I ever heard any music playing.
Is that what I think it is? Not sure if I should be horrified or impressed. Don't bother picking it up. I'll send someone with the proper equipment over later on.
Don't worry about those. Those are outside here. I used to look up and see what they were, but now I don't. Now I'm running to go take pictures of this cave art, or look at it. I can't remember if I gotta take a picture or not. Now I remember when I come
Wait.
out the other side.
I know you're almost out, but indulge me for a minute. Take a look on your right. A little further ahead.
There are red deer on the other side. And I don't have health on me, nor do I want to travel all the way back over here without an outpost.
This is why I live here. Go ahead. Get as close as you want. Just don't touch it. See the cracks in the surface? It's limestone, notoriously unstable. These cave paintings aren't going to be here forever, but I've made it my mission to ensure that we do everything we can to keep them around for as long as possible. Kids like Josh need to learn their history, right? It's part of what it means to be human. Knowing you come from something else, someone else. We call it whakapapa. It means genealogy, but also to place in layers. And those layers link us all. Everything ends up in the ground, bird or human or rock or deer. Anyway, that's enough philosophizing from me. Let's get you out of here. I'm sure you've never been so happy to lay your eyes on the wonderful Kiwi weather. Stretch those legs. Nothing like wandering through a damp, cramped cave to give you a new lust for life. Right. I hope you're not too worn out now. More filming's on the table, but first, can I trouble you to take a little detour? Let me explain. The beech trees here form one of the finest examples of native forest in all of New Zealand. In no small part due to the efforts of our resident conservationist marama. We just had a mast year when they seed like crazy. And this means plenty of food for mice and rats, which in turn means plenty of food for other small pests. Beginning to see the problem? When the rats run out, those small mammals prey on native bird species. The pesky critters. We've used aerial 1080 poisoning to stave off the worst of them. But to slow their reintroduction, we need to get our hands dirty and lay down a few traps ourselves. It's time-sensitive work, and unfortunately, Marama's feeling a bit crook and had to stay home today. Can you take over for her? She's left them in a box near the target site. Conservation here is a constant tit-for-tat against these invasive mammal species. Our only indigenous mammals are 3 types of bats and some marine species. Everything else is a pest to a lesser or greater extent. Sometimes our methods can seem extreme. 1080 poisoning isn't without its naysayers, but it's one of the only tools we have to help protect the uniqueness of this place. Now, hunting helps too. I don't want to go back to the days of the helicopter wars, but having recreational hunters here year-round would go a very long way.
I do believe this is where we have to go for the main mission. I can't remember.
kind of tricks have you used to lure in that many seeker deer? I might have to hire you to give tourists lessons.
Yes, thank you. Yes, there are pigs, there are goats.
There's the box. 4 should do as long as you cover enough ground. Cutting edge Kiwi technology, these. Self-resetting and all. That looks like as good a spot as any. Should be simple to set up. Just install the mount and clip the trap body into place.
This is the most annoying thing.
2 down, 2 to go. The birds will thank you for this. That's all of them. Top-notch conservation work, Airhorn. Oh, one final thing. You can take down the 1080 warning sign. Any animals that haven't already kicked the bucket should have metabolized it by now, so it's safe to hunt in the area again. Hold on just a second. Are you seeing what I'm seeing on the ground there? These tracks aren't particularly old, eh? I hadn't expected we'd be able to deter everyone, but it's not exactly an optimal time to go for a stroll in the bush. 1 second, Josh is ringing. Feel like checking out with our lead? Right, sorry about that. Where are they taking you? Someone was clearly having a bad time of it. Munted, high, both. What's that over there? This looks like it's right out of Resplendent Sword. Surely they didn't. Oh, where? Poor thing looks like it's been torn to bits. Is that a handmade arrow? And to top it all off, there's heavy rain forecast. Perfect bloody timing. There's an outpost not far. Why don't you take shelter there and see if there's any more clues as to what we're dealing with here? Just as I suspected. Our props burglar. And it looks like they've made a spectacular exit. Must have left in a real hurry. Can you put the signs back up at least? Yeah. I think that's as good as you're going to get it looking. The stuff from the photograph. What's the appeal of this rubbish? Now we know where our pickup truck went. Glad to see the back of it. But look at me talking. You're so tough to death. Get inside and I'll fill you in on what Josh told me. Well, someone's been making themselves at home. Please tell me that's not what I think it is. It is. That's where our poor little dear ended up. It must smell vile. A literal bloody hack job. Right, so I had the nephew track down that license plate number, and our props burglar is none other than a local menace by the name of Gad Barden. He's got a whole social media empire under the moniker of Giraro's Blessing. Blogs, YouTube, QuickMez, the works. With exclusive behind-the-scenes shots from on-location movie sets. And guess what? He's resplendent sword mad. Got heaps of photos from all over the reserve I have here. His latest blog entry is quite something. Salutations, followers and friends, blah, blah. Have been out of contact, lost my way in the ever-shifting forests. Foul supper left me ill some nights. 1080 poisoning. He's lucky to be alive, the muppet. Let me send you the link. Usually get Josh to help me out with this. There. Check your hunter, mate. Think he just hallucinated that terrifying creature? He certainly has an overactive imagination, I'll give him that. It's too far inland for a taniwha and not humanoid enough for a patupaerehe. Unless... Anyway, he's an absolute bloody idiot, but I'm glad he's alive. This could have gone so much worse, and it's my own stupid fault for allowing them to film here. I just hate seeing the place disrespected. It's not just the bush, it's my home. I grew up a stone's throw from here. No one's around anymore, but you're welcome to swing. I'll send someone by to clean this up later. Let's get back on track. I'm sure you've seen plenty of fancy castles on your travels, but I guarantee you they're nothing compared to where I'm taking you next. We're going to do some hunting out by Stone Castle Valley. A limestone formation not far from here.
Okay. Where's she taking me? Way up there. There's a house over here, but we're just gonna go over here for right now. Yeah. Not that one. Right here, that's a house. Good job. I'm gonna turn this outpost and I'm gonna be done.
You do a lot of tracks around here. Have a search.
Okay, y'all. That's the stream. I'll be back either tomorrow or in a few days to finish. Okay? Bye.
fellas did they take with them? When you can't fake it with props, fake it with technology. Gonna be tough to move, even if they're not the real thing. They've really spread themselves out. I don't think you'll be able to do much here. I'll get a crew to swing by later. I'm curious to see where this is leading, though. Can you keep going? Stone Castle wasn't epic enough. That's a first. Surely not. What are those tracks? These are from a bulldozer. Someone into your home and they do this to you. Just an obstacle to be cleared to them. What a mess this has been. Oh, left the letterbox. How kind of them. Elisa, do what you want with it. Yes, I mean that. It's got my name on it, but that's probably just some townie's idea of a funny prank. I have a reputation with them after all. MM. Melanie Murphy, it must be. And this is my mother's handwriting. She's long gone. I had no idea they treated people like that. I was only a kid when she left. Lots happened since then, you know. Sorry, cat's got my tongue. It's a lot to take in. Tell you what, how about I put the kettle on and give Melanie a call? See where we're at with each other. And you head off and get us some more footage? I've already had a crew out at Stone Castle to clear up what was left, so I'd suggest starting there. Plenty of prime deer species in the area. Why don't you make that your focus? lovely specimen. You're really a natural at this, eh? So listen, I had a brief chat with Melanie, and she was open to talking more. Been 25 years, and it's going to take more than a single phone call, but it's a start. We had to cut it off, though. She's got news. Big news. She saw some tracks not far from here when she came by to leave the letter a day or so ago, and she swears blind they were from a moose. Are you ready to head out again, Ehoa? Forget the marketing video. This just became a documentary. I've marked the location where Melanie saw the tracks on your hunter mate. 2 things. Keep that camera strapped to you and stay low. It wouldn't do to scare it now. We've come so close. moose prints and they're fresh. I'm pinching myself. Looks like a big one. A bull. One I saw was a cow. Must be her son. No records of any antlers in this area. You don't exactly get many people out looking. Too remote. Keep one eye on the tracks, the other on your surroundings. I know, you know. Melanie used to drill that one into me. Can you imagine? They bundled 10 of them into crates and shipped them across the sea from Canada. Must have been terrifying. Most got shot, the others failed to adapt. This bloke we're stalking is probably all that's left of that line. He went towards the coast. Check that branch. Snapped and stripped. Deer don't browse like that, and certainly not that high up. Is that the end of them? Oh, I knew this was too good to be true. If he's lived this long in the reserve undetected, then he's not going to give himself up that easily. Right, Awaroa, I think that's your work done here for now. I'll get Josh to set up more cameras around here so we can keep a close eye on things. In the meantime, I can't stop thinking about that letter. I might have been too harsh on people, or at least some people. So I wanted to ask you another favour. There's something in it for you this time, though. So here's the plan. I want to repay Melanie for telling me about the moose. I know I have every right to be angry with her for keeping that letter from me all this time. But frankly, it would do the both of us good to move on. And ironically enough, I think the best way for me to do that is to face up to my past. There's somewhere and something I've been avoiding for far too long. Those are hiking boots you're wearing, right? Good. We're going up into the mountains. "25 years ago, I was working as an assistant to our then warden and going out on hunting trips at the weekend with Melanie. We were close at the time. Mum had just left, you know. It was good for me to have someone like that in my life, but I didn't really get on with some of her mates from the chopper company. Hard blokes they were, hard working and hard drinking. I found them kind of intimidating, truth be told. And the whole commercial hunting business seemed like one big laugh to them. Out on fancy toys playing shoot 'em up. Even called themselves Alpine Ops, like a bloody action movie. Anyway, one day I was on duty and received a report of smoke sighted on the other side of the reserve. Melanie and her pilot mate, I won't name him, were heading out over that way anyway and suggested I join them. He had been out the night before. You could smell it on his breath. I wanted her to like me. They'd take the piss out of you if you complained too much. They'd call you a wuss or worse. So I got in. It was fine at first. The pilot was keeping it together and Melanie tried to reassure me that it was probably just some kid's campfire. But then it fogged up. He didn't know what to do, started swerving as if to get out of it. Next thing, we hit a bluff. I don't remember anything after that. Everyone survived. The pilot broke quite a few bones, but Melanie got off with just a few cuts and bruises, a lucky sucker. And the fire? False alarm. Anyway, the wreckage from that accident was never cleared, and I haven't been back since either. too out of the way. But I'm certain there are still a few things worth salvaging up there. No love lost between me and some of those blokes and ladies. But I've got to admit that their efforts are the only reason why this place is still doing okay. It should be around here somewhere. The cockpit. If it had hit the ground at a slightly different angle, we'd have been goners. Take a look around, see if you can find anything. Bingo! That's exactly what I was hoping we'd run into. Melanie's old hunting rifle. I asked her if she wanted it back, but she said it'd make more sense for you to hold on to it. There. That's mine. A gift from my mum, who got it as a gift from hers. She's a bit too long in the tooth to get up to much hunting these days. The poor dear. I've been missing it all this time. Can you drop that necklace off by the nearest outpost and we'll wrap things up? Josh will head over for it later. I told him he'll never drive my car again if he so much as looks at it the wrong way. You can just leave it on the desk inside there. I think we're sitting pretty when it comes to hunting footage for the film now. I'll send what we have over to the marketing team and leave the rest in their hands. Still, it's a shame that the moose thing didn't pan out. I've had more than my fair share of false starts over the years, so I knew it was never going to be easy. They're tricky like that. I hope Mum will be happy it's back in the family. Something for the book at least, eh? An ultimate chapter. He yet lives. Right, well I know you came here on holiday and I'll be sure to let you know how the video is received anyway. Thanks again. And great job, Awaroa. Huh? Did you hear that? Could it really be? It's close. Sounds like just beyond the outpost. Turn that camera on again. We're not done here yet. Follow the call. It couldn't have gone far. These are brand new. I can almost feel how close you are. Look, mate, I'm a park ranger first and foremost, so I've got to remind you of something. In this jurisdiction, moose are considered deer, and deer are pests. Even if I've got a personal soft spot for the poor thing, I can't fault you for wanting that trophy. If you decide not to harvest it, make sure to at least take a good photograph. That action cam's not up to much then. I'll let you make the call. Don't dither though. We know this one's wily. There. What a set of antlers to boot. Old bloke wanted to give us some scenery to admire. Got him. And he's off. It's what I would have done. We're a bunch of softies, eh? Still, now we've got proof. No one's ever going to call me a crackpot again. And I've got a story. Final chapter. Last of its kind. Or The Spirited Adventures of the Stoic Hunter and the Elusive Prey. Resplendent sword, eat your heart out. Speaking of which, this must be what spooked Barden, right? A creature from another world? Just like one of those, things from his movie? Quite the reaction, but then I guess he was still pretty munted. When I spoke to Melanie, she said that there's apparently been protests in town against the films that have been made here. Some of the Kiwi actors involved have cited poor working conditions, things like that. Come on, our moose is still out there. I have to say, I'm glad to see people rally around a common cause, even if I can't help but feel somewhat responsible for this whole debacle. But that's over and done with. The important thing is that we're changing tack, going all in on what this place needs. You know, they even invited me to an advanced screening of the film. I think I'll be not so politely declining. Well, that's that. As I was saying earlier, I know you originally came here to get away from it all, so why don't you take that time now and enjoy yourself? I'll be in touch again soon. My kuia, bless her heart, was a mean tāneko weaver. I shouldn't pass it on, but these days there's a lot of local artisans combining those tried and true techniques with modern designs. Kia ora. It's been a while. You enjoying yourself out in the bush? There's nothing I love more than strapping a pack on and getting lost out there. So I'm glad you've had the chance to wind down and take it in after all that excitement earlier. Got a couple of updates for you. First and foremost, we released the promo film a few days ago. It's been wild. Phone's ringing off the hook kind of wild. In fact, maybe the solution is an outreach. Give those snot-nosed students a taste of the work we do here. Who knows? Might even make conservationists out of some of them. Anyway, the film's up, but we're still working on some final touches to the website. Oh, and the marketing team had a request. There's an old lighthouse by the coast that they'd like a few shots of. Can you head over there and I'll fill you in on everything else that's been happening? So, the bloke with the antlers, the firm we hired to do the promo film has gotten in touch with one of the big online networks, and they're up for the idea of turning your moose chase into a documentary. I'm still working on my book, but I'm thinking this could be a good accompaniment. You've seen the show, now get the details, straight from their moose's mouth. Oh, of course they want to use your footage, and maybe even get an interview. You keen? Give it a think. Good opportunity to raise your profile, though I get the feeling that's not something that matters all that much to you. That's why I like you, Awaroa. What you see is what you get. In other news, Josh convinced me to let him go to that advanced screening of Resplendent Sword. He loved it, the brat, but then he must have read the books cover to cover about 10 times. He said, get this, he said that it had a strong message about environmentalism and cooperation. You think the same people who left all those messes behind came up with that? Hypocritical rubbish. It has given him a newfound appreciation for the reserve, though. He's even expressed an interest in hunting for the first time in his entire life. I think it's as much your influence as anything, but he's not going to admit to that anytime soon. The lighthouse is just up the path off the beach here. Speaking of Resplendent Sword, the protests have continued and the demolition of the commune made it into the local papers. I actually received a lot of support, even from people I wouldn't have expected it from. It's been humbling. I'm not going to go out of my way to drop in on the town, especially now I'm so busy with the book, but it is nice to feel like you're part of a community again. Here's a good spot. Moody. Let's get one a little closer up too. This beach is where I saw that moose cow about 35 years ago. She was staring out at the sea, looked heaps lonely. It probably won't surprise you to learn that I was kind of a weird kid. Introverted and a bit in my own world. There was something about her that connected with me then, and still does. No one's manned this place for decades. Perfect. I'll send these on right away. Bolted shut. Right, let's grab a close-up from around here. It's been quite the adventure we've embarked on, eh? finally see a future for this place where we're not at the mercy of outside actors, and that's in no small part thanks to you. To preserve Te Awaroa's heritage and safeguard our unique biodiversity requires constant vigilance, but I think I'm up for the challenge. Wouldn't you agree, Eho?
If you like what you saw, please watch this next video, and thank you for watching Stormy Skies Gaming. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.